minutes that we approved? There it is. It's okay. All right, it's 7 o'clock. Start out with the pledge, and we'll kind of get right into it. Don't have too long of a night. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, let's see, just a few kind of house cleaning type things and announcements as well. For those in the public, obviously we have emergency exits on the side. Restrooms are through the door in the back. Please make sure to sign into the attendants in the back. We've also got business cards back there if you want to take that to get contact information for the planning department. Let's see, we do have a copy on the back table of the resolutions tonight as well as the agenda. If we could all also, including myself, remember to silence our cell phones. And if there's any conversations or anybody wants to sidebar, we have an audio recording system that helps us with collecting the minutes. And so when people talk and have sidebars, I don't think we'll have that problem this evening. It picks it up and it makes it difficult to transcribe it. But if you do have to have a conversation, feel free to just step out back and then come in when you're done. Other than that, I think we're good to go. I do want to ask the board on the minutes, has everyone had a chance to review and motion to approve?
Make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. All right, before I call up Marshall, are there any amongst the board here, any questions or anything we want to discuss first? Or are we ready to kind of jump right into it? All right. Mr. Hardy? How you doing this evening?
I am doing well, thank you, and how are you?
Good, good. One thing I wanted to make sure you're aware of, you are aware that this has to go to the county, so
Yes.
county planning board. So tonight we can't vote on it or take any action, but we will ask all the questions and talk to the public, and by the next meeting, will the county planning board will have met?
Yep,
Okay.
county is the 8th.
And
Understood.
then we'll be able to.
Okay.
But if you could just tell us a little bit about the project, you kind of heard us talking earlier, just to try to get up to speed with it. It's a little.
Yep, I
there's a
can
little
appreciate that.
Moving pieces here, but.
It's a pretty simple project. I live on 36.3 acres at 7590 North Road, which is at the back of the property. It's got a very large house and a barn with it. And that was the home that my children grew up in, and they're gone. My wife has passed. I don't need that house. So I'm looking to sell off 9.6 acres with the house. That includes the barn, the pasture, and subdivide into, as I say, 9.6 and 26.3 acres. I'm sorry, 26.7. Right now, I have frontage for the 36 acres on the North Road that totals, let's see, and I had this all written down. It totals 59.7 acres, and the 9.5 acre lot would have frontage of 39.06, and Lot 1A, which is the subdivided piece, the larger, would have frontage of 20.73. The 20.73 has been arrived at because there's a 20-foot access and utility easement that the driveway is in, the utilities are in, and when it comes out to North Road, it has an angle point in it. So it's a little bit wider on the frontage, but it's essentially 20 feet. There've been two other subdivisions that I've done there before. One has 100-foot frontage, and the other has 59 feet of frontage, so there'll be a total of 4 lots now on the original frontage. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, Fred, you want to kick us off with some questions?
Is there any part of this that's just barely meets the code?
I'm sorry, is there any part that what?
Is there any part of this that's where the code would require and no more? Or is it all bigger?
Or is it all?
The 100 feet is required for
I'm sorry.
the access to the road.
Does it meet that?
No, so that's what the variance he's seeking. The variance is less than that, so he's seeking one for 20.7, so 21 feet roughly, and another for about 40 feet, 39.
39, correct.
0.06.
Right, and that's all the frontage I have. I've got less than 100 now.
That's the only thing I was confused about.
Because you started out with, it looks like a total of,
217 roughly,
okay,
when I subdivided out.
and you had 100 and 117, so you
Right.
had 200 plus.
They wanted me to hold, and that met the requirements. But when Lot 3 was sold off, in order to get that approved, I got an easement, or I got a zoning approval to, a variance to go down to 59 on the Lot 3. And as I say, I will be on 26 acres. You will not be able to see the house from the road, just as you cannot see the house from the road on Lot 1.
Wants to come back to you, Fred?
There's a driveway that goes up a hill and curves. And the road, the town road underneath it curves. Is that the entrance to the property?
Yes, yep.
I know the driveway.
As you go to the south, there's an A-frame house, and as you go up that grade, the driveway's on the left. There are
Yeah,
3
yeah.
mailboxes on the right.
Okay, I'm good.
Larry?
I'm not even sure how to ask this question. The rule says 100 feet, right? The
Correct.
law says 100 feet. Why can't the 4 parcels share the 100 feet?
It's per lot.
What's the purpose of that?
So the lots don't get landlocked.
Right. And in part.
But if-
100 feet of frontage is required by our code for minimum lot, the minimum dimensions required for a residential lot.
They couldn't get an easement from the other lots? I mean,
Frontage is by tax parcel. It's real property, there's no easements.
okay. I don't have any.
Yeah,
I don't have any questions.
I've got a few. Are there going to be 4 driveways exiting
No.
onto North? How's this going to look? 'Cause that's
One
one of my-
common driveway, which is installed now.
Okay,
And there is an easement that goes with each parcel that gives them access to that driveway.
okay,
But the driveway itself is part of the property that I own and will continue to own up to my lot, and then beyond that, the house that's all the way back will have its own property that comes up to the easement.
okay, understood. Is there Is there any other way to achieve this differently? Is there, it didn't look like there was another road that you could gain access to, or have you tried to buy additional land from your neighbors to make it work? Or, because at one time, obviously, you cut it in half thinking you were going to do it by two. What's to stop if you want another one or another one, and we kind of
Well,
keep
if
dividing
you-
this up?
If you look at the grades, when you come in the driveway off of North Road, it's steep to the right and steep to the left. It rises to the right, drops off to the left. So constructing additional driveways per se would be very difficult.
Well, no, I'm not necessarily thinking about other I like that, personally, I like that you just said it's one driveway, and, because I was thinking in my mind, are there going to be two or three, or
Yeah.
how's that going to work?
No.
But in terms of, obviously, we do have the code, and it's there for a reason, and it says 100 feet. So what's stopping you, for example, for saying, well, I want to subdivide it yet again, I want to create, instead of 39 acres, do this?
You are.
Well, in addition, right? And so what I'm trying to figure out, well, is the variance that you've been given already enough for you to realize what you can out of the property? So we don't end up getting into this 2 or 3 years, you or someone else comes back and is like, I'd like to carve out another 20 acres. I need another variance for now 15 feet and for 10 feet. And, where's that line?
All I can tell you is that when I built the house that's back there now, that was it. That's where I was going to live the rest of my life. Things change. This is it for me. I'm 77 years old. I don't want to do this again.
But are you having trouble just trying to sell it as a parcel as is today? I mean, is there a reason why you have to subdivide it and not just, I think you said you wanted to sell or something earlier.
I want to sell the 9.7 acres and keep the 26 and build on that. And I haven't tried to sell anything yet.
And so that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is it a need or a want, or, so you haven't tried to just sell the whole thing outright? It's obviously you want to live in the new place that you build.
Okay, I'm with you now. I've been looking for property for almost a year, and everything I find is either steep slopes, swamps, or on the Pennsylvania border. If I could find even 10 acres of woods with 100 foot of frontage somewhere, I would entertain looking at that, but there's nothing out there. I've had I wasn't sure at first if I could live in the area I want to live and still see that house up there. But I've come to recognize the fact that that was my wife's home. She designed it. It was what she wanted, and it's not me. I'm going to build an 880 square foot house with a large garage.
Oh, very cool. Question on this, the drawing itself has, it looks like there's the light pink colored, and then there's the one with the hashes. The one with the dark hash lines in it, that is all one parcel, so it's going to be split like that?
That's a conservation easement.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All right.
And what I'm doing is I'm consolidating the conservation easements into one spot rather than leave them fragmented like it is.
Okay. You had a question?
Yeah, is there any possibility of purchasing a piece of land along the south side of the property on North Road to get the extra?
On the south,
In other words, that's north. Okay, from here on North Road towards Town Line? Buy-
that property has been developed. That's the individual that I bought the property from originally bought about 80 acres, and he subdivided it 4 times. He owns that corner lot. Well, that's where his wife lives. He has since passed. I wanted to buy the 5 acres on the corner, and he would not sell it to me. And they've got their daughter that lives next to them, and so, yes, I looked at possibly trying to buy, nothing is for sale.
Thank you.
I think, one thing, obviously, you're aware of the criteria. I think we can just I just want to go through that a little bit with the board, and we'll
Sure.
pull some questions. Obviously, the first one, right, whether an undesirable change would or would not be produced in the character of the neighborhood or create a detriment to nearby properties. Fred, what are your thoughts on that one?
I don't think it would be a detriment to the character of the neighborhood, but it's certainly substantial. Go to the next.
Yeah, I'll go through them systematically, but, okay.
So I think neighborhood's gonna stay about the same as it is. And it's crooked and complex and with the varying topography there is there. I don't know what else could be done other than build a small house without changing the character.
Okay, all right,
I agree.
yeah.
Yes, I agree, because it's just subdividing it into one additional parcel, not like subdividing it for development. So,
Well, for development for one parcel, yes, not
for one parcel, right, not for several houses. So it wouldn't change the character, because it's not like you're going to have additional traffic going up that road and I don't.
It certainly is not, the lot that I'm subdividing out is certainly not a small lot.
Correct.
26 acres for one house,
Right.
it's pretty hard to find.
Yeah, what I want to make sure we walk away with here is understanding what's unique here other than I want it, right? So we have a lot of applicants, right, that come in and sometimes there often needs to be, some type of unique situation other than I want it. I want to parcel it. I want to make, an extra buck, or I want to do this or do that. What's unique about the site or about the situation that, any other developer with, that wants to parcel it out and create more sellable lots and say, look, I need to have 15 or 20.
For me, what's unique about it is that I will be having all woods, and I spend my days in the woods. I bought it because it was wooded. I like the woods. And it's flat. It perks and drains well. It's just a nice piece of property.
Yes,
But I can't.
but you own it today. I mean, you can do what you want to do on the land today, right?
Build a second home on the same lot.
Not without a variance, probably.
Yeah.
I don't want to, but you have a home up there. It's when you bought the property, it had the 200 feet or 217, right? And you
Correct.
got the variance and were able to kind of get that.
No
But
variance.
no variance required for the
First
217.
first
Then
two,
for
right.
for the first variance, then you got that to the 59.
Correct.
And such. And then that worked out, obviously, you were able to subdivide the other two pieces off, and that worked for you. I'm just trying to come up with I guess as long as one thing we would comment on is that it remains, that almost like this is it, right? That it remains a single home, that anyone else, yourself included, comes in front of us again, and it would be on the record that, look, we've got one variance, maybe a second one. We do have to hear from the public as well. But further, 36, if you came up in front of, up here, especially in Victor, with a 36-acre parcel, that's pretty large. If you also came here with a 10-acre parcel, that'd be pretty large too, right? I
Yes.
mean, there aren't very many. So
No question it
one
would
could
be.
easily project 5 or 10 years from now, and someone, yourself still being here and saying, you know what, I want to go down and do this again. I just would make sure that on the record or within the variance, we have some language in there that just says, okay, this is it, we've
I
we've
understand
debated this,
that.
we've discussed
I
it.
can't promise you that somebody else won't do that.
Yep.
I think I can promise you that it won't be me.
Don't promise. I bet you would have made that promise the last
I
time.
would have made it 25 years ago, you're right.
Sure. I'll keep it moving, and then I want to get to the public as well. The second one being the benefit sought cannot be achieved by some other method feasible within the applicant's control, other than the area variance. I'll answer, but I'll look to everyone to my left and right to make sure if there's any, anything they want to add to it. I do agree for what you want to achieve, there isn't anything obvious. You did mention you could try to buy land it would be to the south of you. It sounds like you've either looked into that or it's not viable. What was the,
At one time, what I looked at was possibly working with the neighbor that has the 100-foot of frontage, lot number 1, or lot number 2, to see if he would be willing to swap some land along the driveway corridor to reduce his frontage, and I would give him land in the back. Unfortunately, he passed in November, and it's in probate, and
Okay.
not going to happen.
is everyone okay with that?
Yes.
The proposed area variance is significant. Well, is or is not significant. I would agree with what, Marshall, I'm reading your statement here, that it is significant but doesn't alter the character of the neighborhood. So like I had said earlier, I was coming into this not knowing if it was going to be multiple driveways, so knowing it's only one, I'd agree with that. Everybody okay with that?
Yes.
4, the proposed variance will or will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions of the neighborhood or district. I would say that it would not have an adverse impact. There's going to be no additional, driveway going out to the road. That would have been, again, my major concern.
Agreed.
Yes, agreed.
And 5, the alleged difficulty is self-created, although it doesn't really hurt you to have it be self-created in this instance. But it's self-created by the fact that you want to subdivide it, so
Right,
that one's
right.
tough to get around. And I'm assuming everyone's okay with that, it's pretty
Yes.
standard. I do want to ask the public, is there anybody here that wants to speak for or against the application? If you could just come up to the mic and just state your name and where you are?
Yep,
Where you're
Kevin
from.
Henderson, 7584 North Road. I believe I'm Lot 3. So
Okay.
I share that common driveway with Marshall and Lot 1.
Okay,
Was that Mike's Lot 1? Or your Lot 1?
I'm lot 1, Mike is lot
2, I'm 3.
the
So,
one to the south, then.
yeah, we're the first,
Yeah.
as you come down our driveway, we're the first one on the right.
Got it.
So when Marshall came to my wife and I and asked about, he proposed what he was thinking about doing. Linda and I did not have any issue if it was for Marshall. If he came and said, hey, I want to subdivide and sell it off so there's another, fourth or fifth home back there, I would not be in favor of it. Marshall's been an incredible friend, fantastic neighbor. He's the one that maintains the private drive. He keeps our woods clean. He truly does love the woods. It is a beautiful parcel, a lot of beautiful oaks and the like. It's just, it's beautiful back there. So, I'm very supportive of Marshall being able to do that, give him whatever frontage variance, because that seems to be the hang-up or the issue. But I love the idea of something in the minutes that I don't want a fifth and a sixth and a seventh and an eighth home back there. That's That's our big concern. When we built the house 18 or 20 years ago, we were told there's 3 houses on a private drive in Victor. That's why we bought it. Suburbia is not for me. So it was just a perfect fit, and it's served us very, very well, and I would hate to lose Marshall. So,
Great, thank you.
thank you.
Anybody else? All right. Oh, sorry, I didn't see back there.
Hi, my name's Brendan Harif. I'm here with my wife Lauren. Oh, this is my son Henry.
Hello?
We bought the A-frame that's just behind that access road back in November, October, somewhere in there. So we're neighbors with Kevin and Marshall. Just wanted to come in and give our favor, I guess, for the idea. We're very much okay with it. Same thing for us. We don't, really like big neighborhoods or subdivisions, things like that. But that said, adding another neighbor way in the back, definitely in favor of that. And Marshall's just a really great neighbor, and we love the area and think it's going to be a really great project. So very much in support of it. So.
Super, thank you. Anybody else? You good? Okay. I mean, in general, I think you can get an idea of where the board, will most likely lie. We do have to hear from the county in their feedback. The next meeting is
The
2 weeks.
20th. Yep, May 20th.
Is the 20th?
I need to come back for that one?
Yes. Yep.
Not a problem, I spend quite a bit of time in the town recently.
Sounds good. Before we wrap things up, I'll just look to the board. Are there any other questions or?
No.
Fred, everyone good?
I'll pass until the county response is
Okay.
back, and we'll give it another go at that time.
All right. Thank you very much. Good luck with the, well, not good luck with the project yet. You got 2 weeks to come back.
One or two more steps. But, I appreciate your thoughts.
Super, thank you. All right, so motion to close the public hearing and adjourn. Do we have anything else we need to talk about? We don't have our, thank you, we don't have our town board member here. On the, for this one too, we'll try to work something up to put it actually in the comments of the resolution itself, right? Or anything we can, it just communicates that, all right, this is kind of it. At least. So in 25 years when it's a, when a set of us.
Well, but the real answer is it's not going to, despite what he says, if someone buys that property and then buys the property south down to, they can get themselves enough to.
Yeah.
Assuming they can
There's-
get everybody's approval.
Yep, there are other ways to do that.
Yeah.
You bet. Great, motion to adjourn.
Did we miss? Oh, that was
Oh,
tabled. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that was tabled, yep, right ahead there.
Move to adjourn?
Second?
Second.
Hey, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
It was.